Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating dynamic, one that, let's be honest, almost all of us deal with in the modern world. We're going to dive into a brilliant little breakdown of modern health, our psychology, and those sneaky little traps we set for ourselves. We're going to explore what absolutely has to happen to drive us to make healthy choices, and maybe more importantly, what we are really doing when we try to take shortcuts. It's a conversation about holistic health that goes way, way beyond just lifting weights or running on a treadmill. So, can you buy your way to better health? Actually, pose that to yourself for a second. Think about it. In our current culture, it certainly feels like we are constantly being sold the idea that health is just a transaction, right? Just swipe your card for a gym membership, a special supplement, or that fancy new piece of workout gear. But as we're going to see in the source material we're exploring today, treating health as something you can simply purchase, well, it often masks a much deeper issue. To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to look at a highly relatable case study of a modern family, and we'll see exactly how different generations view the very concept of staying fit. Section 1, the generational fitness divide. To understand this, let's look at 4 generations through the eyes of a family conversation. We have Grandpa, who represents a very traditional back-to-basics approach. We have Papa, your typical modern office worker. We have Mama, the voice of reason and observation. And then we have 8-year-old Soham, whose entirely innocent questions brilliantly expose the logical flaws in how we adults operate. There is just a stark contrast between these generations. Take Grandpa's routine. It is incredibly simple. He does Surya Namaskar, he walks out amidst the trees, and he meditates. According to Grandpa, no other exercise is needed. It's just natural movement seamlessly integrated into daily life. But then look at Papa's reality. Papa has a highly sedentary office job. He literally sits all day, which is totally unlike people in the past who might have walked long distances just going about their factory work or daily chores. And because Papa's lifestyle entirely lacks natural movement, he's driven toward artificial environments just to compensate. He suddenly needs these complex gym memberships with massive machines designed to isolate and train very specific muscles. And this brings us to a fantastic observation from the 8-year-old Soham. He straight up asks, why doesn't he use the open gym set up by the society? It is free too. Kids just have a way of cutting through the noise, don't they? Soham is engaging in some brilliant Socratic questioning here. He playfully points out a massive logical flaw in adult behavior. Think about it. If the goal is literally just to move your body and exercise your muscles, why are we paying a premium for something that is freely available right outside our front door? It's the kind of question that completely strips away the marketing and gets right down to the core of our actual motivations. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the illusion of action. This is where Mama steps in to explain the reasons, or, well, let's be more accurate, the excuses we make for choosing expensive, passive solutions over simple, active ones. Let's walk through Papa's fitness journey as Mama breaks it down. First off, she points out a little historical context. Gyms originally became popular in Western societies because wildly fluctuating weather made it literally impossible to walk or exercise outside every single day. But Papa isn't exactly battling blizzards here. Mama points out he simply prefers the comfort of an air-conditioned gym. Plus, he originally enrolled because he had lower back pain, and strengthening those specific muscles was supposed to help. But here is the real catch. He actively avoids doing the actual daily exercise. He avoids eating a proper diet. Instead, what does he do? He just takes supplement tablets. So the crucial takeaway here is that Papa is treating fitness entirely as a consumer. He is buying the gym membership and buying the supplements, basically creating this illusion that he is doing something about his health while entirely avoiding the actual hard work required. And the reality of this illusion, it all comes down to one staggering number: 1. Despite paying for a full, very expensive year-long gym membership, Papa has utilized it for less than 1 month. Less than 1 month out of 12. It is a striking representation of how the intention to buy health completely falls apart when the actual follow-through is missing. Money was definitely spent, but movement was absolutely not achieved. This brings us right to the psychological core of this explainer. Section 3, the power of inner resolve. We are shifting away from the physical mechanics of going to a gym to the actual deep-rooted requirement for making literally any real change in our lives. Mama points out a really profound truth here. She notes that she has told Papa to exercise. His father, Grandpa, has told him. Even his doctor has told him. But honestly, it doesn't matter.
External pressure is ultimately useless. Inner resolve is the desire to improve that comes from deep within. It is the absolute essential internal requirement to make a change happen and, crucially, to actually sustain it. You can have all the external suggestions, the guilt trips, and the medical advice in the whole world, but until that switch flips internally, totally independent of anyone else, that expensive gym membership card is just going to sit in your wallet unused.
And this principle absolutely bleeds into other areas of our lives. Section 4, active mind, active body. Mama brilliantly connects this whole concept to mental exertion as well, teaching young Soham a quick lesson about his studies.
This is such a great parallel between the body and the mind. Just as Papa popping a supplement tablet is totally passive, Mama explains that just watching a video that hands you a solution to a problem is passive consumption. It really doesn't make you learn. To truly learn, you have to engage in active learning. You actually have to think for yourself. Mama explicitly states that thinking makes you exercise your brain. Just like your muscles will atrophy without resistance, your brain stagnates without the friction of critical thought. Relying on someone else for the answer is basically the mental equivalent of hoping a gym membership card will magically hand you a six-pack.
Out of this entire conversation, Soham realizes exactly what he needs to do. And Mama maps out a beautifully simple foundational formula for achieving true holistic health. Step 1, think. Exercise the brain. Step 2, walk or exercise. Actually move the body. Step 3, eat well. Fuel the system properly. And finally, step 4, after a few years of building this solid foundation, add meditation to the schedule to quiet the mind. It's this perfect holistic progression that requires zero expensive equipment, but demands absolute inner resolve at every single step along the way. And literally, just as they establish this profound truth, Papa walks right into the room, leading us perfectly to Section 5, the gadget trap.
Papa enters the room enthusiastically declaring, "I bought a new watch. See, it has a pulse monitor, a BP regulator, nudges, and it tracks the steps walked." I mean, this is the absolute ultimate irony of modern health culture captured in one single quote. Papa is so eagerly buying technology to externally track and nudge him, constantly looking for a piece of hardware to do the job of the inner resolve he's actively avoiding cultivating. He is totally fascinated by the data of the steps rather than the effort of actually taking them.
And so the question I really want to leave you with today is this. Are you tracking your steps or are you actually taking them? It is just so incredibly easy to fall into the trap of confusing preparation and tracking with actual, tangible progress. Gadgets, memberships, and supplements, they are just tools. They are absolutely not the work itself. Remember, true holistic health for both an active mind and an active body simply cannot be purchased. It has to come from within. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today, and I really challenge you to look at your own routines and ask yourself where you might just be relying on a gadget instead of your own inner resolve.